On May 1st, 1915, Lusitania departed New York for the final time. In the advertisement for the voyage was a warning from the Germans saying that a state of war exists between Britain and her allies versus Germany and her allies, and that German U-boats were patrolling the British Isles. Any traveler crossing the Atlantic does so at their own risk. Though passengers of the Lusitania weren't concerned, however, they thought Lusitania was too fast for any U-boat. They soon grew concerned, however, when on the evening of May 6th, Captain Turner made an announcement informing the passengers that they had just entered enemy waters and were in danger of a U-boat attack. That night, some passengers slept next to or even on a lifeboat. In the morning, Lusitania was covered in fog. She began broadcasting her position by sounding her foghorn, and her speed was reduced to slow ahead. By midday, the fog cleared, but Lusitania was only brought up to half ahead, moving at around 17 knots, barely enough to outrun a U-boat. The final nail in the coffin for Lusitania was when Captain Turner started a navigation check off the coast of the old Kinsale lighthouse. This brought Lusitania into perfect range for U-20. U-20 fires one torpedo at the liner. On the bridge of Lusitania, Second Officer Percy Hefford spotted the torpedo and yelled, "Torpedo closing on the starboard!" However, little did he know, this torpedo would claim 1,198 lives, including his. The captain ordered the helm hard to starboard, which in tiller commands meant hard to port, but it was too late. On May 7, 1915, a torpedo struck Lusitania's starboard side. Seconds later, there was a second explosion. The cause of this explosion is still relatively unknown, but we do know it was not a second torpedo. Right after the torpedo hit, Lusitania gained a 10-degree starboard list, and immediately after that, the first distress call is sent from the Lusitania. It reads, "SOS, SOS, SOS, come at once, big list, 10 miles south of Old Kinsale, MFA." Sadly though, this was Lusitania's final message, as the electrical power went out, shutting off lights, elevators, and the ship's radio. Many people were trapped in the elevators when the ship went out, and they went down with the ship. When the lights went out, it left many stuck deep in the ship, trying to find a way out in the dark. Lusitania was now listing 15 degrees to starboard. The engines were ordered to stop, but even with the engines stopping, the momentum left from them was still pushing Lusitania. Captain Turner ordered the lifeboats to be prepared, but not to lower until the ship came to a complete stop. Despite this, some of the crew lowered lifeboats against the captain's orders. Lifeboat 17 is launched, but capsizes when two men jump into it. By now, Lusitania has finally come to a complete stop, but the forecastle is flooding. Captain Turner finally gives an official order to lower lifeboats. Lifeboat 1 is launched, but is brought down by the suction of the ship. As water reaches the bridge, Lusitania gains a 25-degree starboard list. Captain Turner was washed away when he was standing on the port side bridge wing. He was later pulled into a lifeboat. Lifeboat 9 touched the water, but it was having trouble releasing itself. The boat would go down with the ship. Lusitania then began her final plunge and starts dropping like a rock. As she does so, Lifeboat 15 is pulled under by Lusitania's rigging. Lusitania sank in 18 minutes, killing 1,198 people. Only 6 of her 48 lifeboats were successfully launched.